to the
How
comp
was the Yuzong against a Lapu Lapu?
in lane.
Yes.
I think Lapu Lapu has to play safe till level 4 for sure. And afterwards, it depends on how well both players can try and use the sustain. Because generally the Lapu can build more physical, skill lifesteal items and kind of sustain back up. When it comes down to an all-in though, depending on how ahead one of the players are, the Yuzong has a bit more value there. Because you kind of have a built-in regen plus damage at the same time.
But this is the answer from Geek. They go for Ruby, for Luke, one of his power heroes. We saw what he was able to do in the early stage of the series. Vexana, the next answer. So they have a lot of tools here. They have a lot of CC. They have knock-up from the Vexana as well. RRQ, they just need one more hero to close this out. Is this an Akai jungler? Are they gonna swap things around in the roam? It's the ultimate question.
Looking at this composition,
Just
they
saying,
can
the
go
front
for
row
more
is
pick-off too, to be fair.
I will choose my
Alright,
own
to
path.
see 4 seconds. It will be an Arlet.
Roam?
Roam?
Yeah. Arlet roam for Vin. Ah,
Oh boy.
not the best of win rates.
Power hero.
Power hero, you can say that. Maybe in the playoffs it'll be different, right? But in the regular season, it is. Vin has always failed on this Arlet pick. Notoriously, Beloyski laughed at him after a final slash flicker
Yep.
combo that
I saw that
missed.
clip.
Yeah, that clip was everywhere. So we'll see if he will be able to find that redemption in the most important game for him, at least this season so far.
Oh boy.
People learn from their mistakes. People go stronger from their mistakes.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
And that's
And-
been absolutely true for RRQ so far.
And it's crazy, right? Like how everything has built up to this, the win streak, the history, the fact that RQ are here because of Geek Fam. Now we're finally at the final deciding game. Let's see what happens.
You can't go back from this. There's nowhere to run. There is nowhere to hide. Go big or go home for the final game in this best of 5 series. Will we be saying goodbye to Geek? Or will the Kingslayers prevail under the pressure, under the boot of the Monarchs? RRQ Hoshi.
We'll have to see. Looking at the composition so far, when it comes to, it really feels like RQ are kind of liking the fact that they can really secure those neutral objectives. With a Yuzong, with an Akai, they are overloaded with crowd control tools. In order to contest for that, you have to wonder for Geek, are they going to try and match it? Are they going to try and go for trades? Because we've seen them go with both situationally. But look at the aggression here. RQ taking control of these bushes. They're the ones pressuring. And usually you see Geek Fam just a bit more proactive.
Boy, getting zoned completely away from his own minion wave here in the mid lane, and I don't think he will be able to walk up here. He's just soaking in.
Very careful about getting hit with that stun, but I guess that's, you know, how much he fears the potential for Geek to just go in aggressively when you least expect it.
I mean, that's what you can expect in the mid lane, right? Again, Luo Yi in the early game has so much damage. Meanwhile,
But have to spin into the Furious Dive into all the vengeances you get from those resets. Straight for
hasn't reached level 4 just yet, and you can already see them going for the neutral objective. No contest whatsoever for Geek as they look for a mirror play in the top side. Can they get it?
diversion though. All the way up top. Finn cannot chase them. They're here just to relieve some pressure away from Florian. Oh, a dive from Don. Eternal Guard no connects on to Don, and Luke is there to follow it up with a Donor Wolf King. And then another final slash from Finn. The capitalization of the burnt flicker earlier. But now Luke tries to go for a trade. Plays right there with his Virgin and pops into diversion as well. A pullback with I'm Offended. Finn's still able to survive for a bit right now as he gets chased down. Still the Vengeance resets though, and in the end, he will fall. He will crumble to the Appraiser's Wrap. The heavy spin up top will mean that Chidera will be pinned down even with the Purify right into the Petrify and the Furious Dive of Dawn. Skylar munching on that turret.
This is so much value for RRQ. Everything is going right for them. Beloyski might be the next one to fall, but he's still able to get out. Regardless whether or not he fell,
All of
RRQ
their
pushed.
battle spells defensively instead of aggressively. And immediately they rotate towards jungle. They're playing this so calculatively.
Ray with the taunt. Now when I'm offended as well, trying to bait out that heavy spin. Irad saving it to the very last second and is able to escape.
Great.
We're gonna look for a little bit more of time here. Despite Geek going for it, RQ want to clap back.
Oh, right with the final slash. Irad comes in to petrify onto Ray with now the bloom coming back. And the Brazier's grab not going to be enough to help him survive. He wasn't even able to let it get out. He got bursted down by Clay and Luke. Now in the midst of it all, caught the heavy spin, isolates him. Luke trying to run away. Guess it don't run Wolfie into the eternal guard. And Anjadera is on the chase, but not for long. They cannot lock any of the RQ members down.
That's a lot of damage.
But Skylar's doing so well so far, right? 1-0-1. It feels like he's snowballing up until this point. I'm wondering what his items are. Luke in a 2v1 situation, not going to be able to defend it. That's a flicker.
Gotta pull, I'm offended, trying to escape right now, but Skylar, Lycan pounce, that's a bloom. Global healing is present.
They've kind of shut
Finn?
Three-man final slash, but Finn finds himself in enemy lines. Done with a petrify instant collapse! Skylar finds a double! And RRQ, the kingdom erupt once again.
It's a 4-1 trade. That was a 4-1 trade.
Waiting for some kind of opportunity. They've put Vin in between the Lord and Geek Fan. It might just be a free one for RRQ.
But despite everything, right, Ray has still kept up with the farm, also at level 11 right now. But then they don't want to go for the risk. There's still a tower in the bottom side, however. What is Geek waiting for? Is that a diversion? Oh no!
Oh! Divergence and a heavy spin. Rad finds the pin onto Luke, but they're on another man's base. A boy finds a kill. That's Finn as well. That's two. A greedy.
What they are planning on doing right here, with RRQ going on the Lord, though, you can see some maneuvers coming in from Geek Fam, trying to find some control.
Again, right, despite RRQ holding control, like you mentioned, Arashi, Ray is also level 13, so he's been able to catch up to Irad. So if they want to go for a 50-50, is it possible? Is Chidera ready for this team fight? Is a boy ready for this team fight, right? Because it really does depend on both of these players.
Ooh. Same done to the bottom side.
Yep. Pushing down to the bottom lane. Now Finn can go for an engage. Heavy spin into the back with the Black Dragon form used up as well. Irad secures the Lord for free. Geek Fam on the march, trying to look for a pickoff, something back, any sort of trade, but RRQ deny it.
It's insane how they played that, right? Because the best case scenario is Geek are able to kind of fend.
They're still not going for a three-wave push, but they're making a play for the base turrets.
Three-way spin with a flicker forward with the final slash, but it gets baited into the base turret. Now as Ray is able to lock him down under the base turret. Finn with immortality, melted down by Chidera, but the enhanced Lord has done work. Up top, it's a base turret taken, and RQ instantly disengaged. Geek Fam though, they want to continue. Luke marches on forward, but two base turrets, right? But the ultimate end angle for RQ is either a team fight or an evolved Lord. That's when Geek Fam are forced to answer.
That's a diversion. Yuzong is at the bottom of the map, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye out for him. Chidera is positioned in perfect way.
Finn gets locked down by the Lord and knocked him up. Now Ray in the midst of it all, it's gonna be done. Rises to the back, but Eternal Guard catches him. Immortality used. Chidera ultimate of nature, but look at the choke point now with Luke able to find the Donra Wolf King around with a heavy spin, is trying his best to get rid of the Geek Fam members. RQ dispersed. Luke cries that I'm offended, but now Skylar goes in for a desperate play, fighting Woloski, but will lose his life with Geek Fam chasing. It seems Skylar is still able to survive. He runs away with the GDS movement speed, but the enhanced Lord will spawn up top. Geek Fam know it. They want to take the big plays. This might be the end. In the mid lane, marching down. I'm offended on the Skylar. Ray will knock up.
Oh no!
They're chasing Skylar, but he has the GDS once again. Now the enhanced minion waves come down. And so does Vin. Dawn 4 seconds, Irad 11. An Eternal Guard. Trying to spot out the diversion.
Oh, no.
Ray walks up. Skylar is running for the hills for a boy, but he might be caught now. A boy running too far from his team. That's Skylar who picks up an unstoppable abate. and an elimination for Skylar.
That was a mid laner traded for a mid laner ultimately, but look at RRQ marching down in the mid lane. Skylar is still available. Vin and Dawn are on the way as well. These base turrets are going to be falling with everything on the line.
They find Luke with the final slash, and I'm offended, not connecting. RRQ slowly but surely marching down in the Kingslayer's base. That's a 3-man stun from Beloy. Luke with the Dome Round Wolf King as the Black Dragon form gets used up, and Ray is going to be isolated with a heavy spin. Finn also isolated in the back. Ray still able to survive right now as he gets so much sustain. Meanwhile, Finn, he cannot say the same thing. He shall crumble under the 3 members of Geek Fam.
Ability-based physical damage reduction, and Athena and Oracle. He knows that there's going to be ability-based damage coming in from Skylar, from Frey. He needs to be that extra frontline because Beloyski is not a tankier hero that can initiate or counter-engage. So right now, it comes to just short trades. The Florian healing now becomes a big problem because even if RRQ can chuck someone down to half HP, unless they can really seal the deal and take him out, put him on death timer cooldown, it won't be enough. But with the waves pushing on the top side, RRQ, they're trying to play this as calculatively as they could possibly do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this possibly could be the last Lord of this best of 5 series. The way that this goes down is imperative to the success of the entire organization at MPL ID Season 13. And if they still want a chance to make it to MSC, the pressure is there. The chaos is looming. The waves are pushing. And the Lord gets resetted?
RRQ, maybe a bit too cautious. Maybe a bit over respectful. 2-man, I'm offended, right into the stun. Chidera trying to go for some damage as the Black Dragon form gets used up, but that's all just a bait. Geek Fam want to utilize these cooldown buffers to get as much value as possible. Ray very low, the Bloom's still ready. Diversion to the back line as well. There might just be looking for the end right now. The heavy spin gets used up as well, but Geek Fam are forced back in the mid lane. The boy is able to clear it out with the Eternal Guard. Skylar not able to dish out enough damage towards the mini waves to clear it out in fast enough. Momentum, pendulum, all
Able to clear the wave. What hasn't happened? And now it's back to the Lord Dance. But now look at the wave on the top side. It's meeting so much further outside of the base for Geek Fam. They have decent control right here.
Bit of damage placed onto Luke by the Lord though. This is an evolved board. They'll be taking so much damage from it. Final slash, not connecting. Finn gonna be stunned up earlier. Eternal Guard knocking around up, doing some poke damage. Black Dragon form as well by Dawn. This is a window of opportunity. A 5-man petrified, but he gets the lead in instead. Dawn Appraiser's wrath! Ray finds Iran and he gets the retribution! All objectives have gone to the Kings. All of the red trees have gone to Iran. But
The
one
mid lane. 20 seconds left on the clock for Irad. 17 seconds left on the clock. Ray still needs to work down in the top side. Oh, but there they go!
with
The
Ram
damage!
offended, finding play. Only Skylar, the crown prince in his own base, left to defend. They will slay the prince. They will slay the Kings. 7-0. And proceeding to an 8-0. The Kingslayers continue their reign over the Kings.
They were once the saviors. They were once the key. But back here in the playoffs, in the mausoleum, in the Colosseum, all that does not matter. We are now back to enemies. We are now back to rivals. And despite the equalizer from RRQ, it's not enough. Rex, Regum, Kaon are officially out of MPL ID Season 13.
The Geeks have spoken. Nothing personal, kid. Sending the kingdom back home.